Hey all, good evening and welcome to another session with me, Varun, on Tech Tablet. And in this session, let us understand what is Apache Spark. Well, I really hope you enjoy the series, and if in case you would want to connect to me, you can do that on my Instagram, and the ID would be Hyderabadi underscore Chora, Chora. Well, now talking about what we would be discussing in this video, the agenda would be to understand what exactly is Apache Spark, where is it useful, a bit about its history and what are the different tools required and its scope, right? So now to talk about or to begin with, well, Apache Spark or Spark as it is very famously called, it's an open source distribution general purpose cluster computing framework. And this was originally developed by the University of California, Berkeley's AMP lab, wherein the Spark code base was later donated to the Apache Software Foundation, which has been maintaining it since. So just to take a small look at its history, it all started in 2009 as a project at UC Berkeley AMP lab. And then in 2010, it got open sourced under BSD license. In 2013, Spark became an Apache top level project that was taken into consideration. And then in 2014, the very next year, it was used by Databricks to sort large scale data sets and to set a new world record, right? So that is why we say that Apache Spark can really, kind of take in or handle memory much faster as compared to Hadoop, which is also an in-memory data processing engine. And it also supports various programming languages like R, Python, Java, Scala. All these are supported, and a lot of developers and data scientists also incorporate Spark into their applications to query, analyze, and transform data at a scale. Okay, and there are also a lot of other reasons which make Spark much better as compared to Hadoop. For example, just to list a few, Spark has been claimed as 100 times faster than MapReduce, and also it performs batch processing and real-time processing of data. While Spark also is advantages wherein it uses really fewer lines of code as it's implemented in Scala, and it supports authentication via shared secret, and it can also run on Yarn, leveraging a lot of other uh, platforms. Okay, and it really has some other great features, like it has fast processing, it has in-memory computing, it is really flexible, and it is fault tolerance. Well, it contains something called as RDD, which is resilient distributed data sets, which are designed to handle, great, clusters of data. Okay, and here we also have some expressive APIs which allow the data workers to efficiently execute streaming, machine learning, or SQL workloads which require more iterative access to data set. Right, guys? Now, this language, which is Apache Spark, it is written in Scala, Java, Python, and R. Rather than saying written in, I think it should be more nice when we say it can be used in or used for. And talking about the operating systems, it can be used on a wide range of platforms like Microsoft, Apple, or Linux. It can handle batch and real-time analytics as discussed, and also data processing workloads. And it can be used for data analytics or machine learning algorithms or other huge level of purposes. And this as in Apache Spark has been used for many other purposes. Some very famous use cases that we should talk about of Apache Spark are streaming data, website management, machine learning. It's also used for interactive analysis. It's used on a lot of websites like Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, and also for fog computing. And there is also a small note that I've written here, which we all should probably, just talk about for a second. Well, Spark, which is an Apache project, is also advertised as a lightning fast cluster computing because it has thriving open source community. Well, it's not because, but well, it also has a thriving open source community and is definitely the most active Apache uh, uh, project at the moment. And Spark provides faster and more general data processing platform, and it lets you run programs up to 100 times faster in memory or 10 times faster on disk as compared to Hadoop. Now, this fact changes a lot of things, and it actually brings us to a different level playing field altogether. And it also says that last year Spark took over Hadoop by competing the 100 terabyte Daytona Gray Sort contest, and it was seen that 3 times faster on 1/10 the numbers of machines, and it also became the fastest open source engine for sorting a petabyte. Now, this is something really, really huge. At least for all those of you who are already or who are looking towards Apache Spark, well, I think this is really a very big takeaway for all of us to talk about in the interview, right? So, guys, this is what I would want to talk to you about. And then this kind of speed which we have, it facilitates us to work on a lot of iterative algorithms which visit their data sets multiple times in a loop. And this interactive or exploratory data analysis, that is the repeated data by style based style querying of data, all these features, they really kind of differentiate Spark from any other technology. And also it requires a cluster manager and a distributed storage system, which means that Spark can run in a standalone cluster mode that simply requires Apache Spark framework and a JVM, which is a Java virtual machine, of course, on each machine in your computer. By providing bindings to popular languages like Python, R, and many more enterprise-friendly languages like Java, Scala, Spark also allows everybody from application developers to data scientists to use its scalability and speed in a highly accessible manner as compared to other technologies, right, guys? So these are some things that I would want you to know. And notwithstanding this, there are also different components which have uh, the Apache Spark, and the different components are Spark Core, you have Spark SQL, you have Spark Streaming, you have ML Live, you have GraphX. All right, you have a lot of other things like Spark Core. It is responsible for that is okay. Spark Core is responsible for things like memory management, fault recovery, scheduling, interacting with storage systems. Then we have also RDD, which is a part of your your Spark Core. And notwithstanding this, we have just discussed that you have other elements or other parts also. For example, Spark SQL. When you talk about Spark SQL, the framework component is used for unstructured, and semi-structured data processing. Right, guys? Here you have Spark SQL and HQL, wherein you have data frame and data source APIs, and this is taken from CSV file or JSON file or JDBC. Okay, so this is how each and every component is broken down and built into different components to make it faster and efficient. So just to sort it all out, or just to frame it up, you have different advantages of Spark, and everything which comes with advantages does not go away without a disadvantage. So the advantages are, it has got great speed, which we've been talking all through, and also it can handle advanced analytics. It is dynamic in nature. It is multilingual. It is really very powerful. It has increased access to big data, and we have a great demand for Spark developers that is increasing, and you have a good open source community as well. And the disadvantages are, there's no automatic optimization process that you have that's available in Spark. Probably this might come up as an update later. You do not have a great file management system. It comes with very few algorithms. There are some small file issues that you might face once in a while. Window criteria is again another problem, and it is not suitable for multi-user environment. Now, this is also another very important point that is a drawback with Apache Spark. Right, so I really hope you enjoyed watching the 10-minute video which is a quick introduction and understanding about Apache Spark. And if you have, well, do hit the subscribe button, hit the like and share button also if you would want your friends to watch and have a basic understanding about this. In the upcoming videos, we would be looking at a lot more stuff related to data science and machine learning. Stay tuned. This is me, Varun Rao, signing off. Have a great day and all the best for the interview that you're about